Doing a bit of tinkering with the Geo Tinker multi-tool. Um, I kind of had some second thoughts, and I think that the first version I drew was kind of more catered to the micro version. And I think this was more intended to be actually, yeah, more of a medium to full size multi-tool. So, went back to the drawing board here, did a bit more tinkering. The changes I made was right off the bat, I did want to include the saw. I mean, I think that's it's just a necessity on a tinker tool. The scissors, the same little driver with the tapered little flat head, and that'll also work some Phillips, little file on the side, and the 2.5 inch blade, the chisel. I thought it would be, I threw this on this side because, whoops, didn't want to do that, because this side has all the bits on it, so I changed the positioning. So the chisel, because you need a good chisel. And so I added a compartment for some bits on here. And, standard size, the smaller standard size bits, so this compartment, it'll fit approximately 3 to 4 in there. So that's pretty cool. As I was attempting to show in here, but. And there's I think there'll be need to have made a custom needle point pin with a hole in it, with the base of a standard size. One of those. Or the half size, the 2 size. I mean, if it's not possible, maybe the half size would be more preferable. I just threw this here just for a quick measurement's sake. But regardless, a little compartment for the bits would be ideal. And this, the flap that covers the bits here, unfortunately I had to show it on the side here, but really it's on the top, like here. It's on the surface here. So I figured in this thin plate, let's make it so there's enough room for maybe a pin or two. So that'd be a good area to keep the extra pin. Just the same kind of pin you find in a Swiss Army knife. And these actually fell down a bit, but push them back up. There should be enough room in here on the side for the tweezers. You need the tweezers. We're always working with wood splinters, so tweezers is also a necessity. That was another reason I went back to the drawing board, because yeah, if you don't have the pin, well then at least you need the pick, and this you can work around. But the tweezers you need. And since the majority, or at least half the time, a good portion of the time, you'll be tinkering around with something with wood, so the saw is very important. So once again, I stressed back on the saw. And so yeah, the needle point bit with the hole in it, we went over that last time. That would be a good a custom accessory to this bit. And for the lanyard, I think I just, the way they have those small little square, and then it's just slightly raised in the middle, and they're made of metal. Kind of looks like that. That's not a very good drawing, but yeah, I figured those type of lanyard eyelets would be more suitable on the scales, or built into the scales, whatever. Because I do prefer not to use your lanyard in this area here, because I'm going to go over that in a second. Let's just stay back with the tool set here. So yeah, the tweezers there we covered. And I figured, hey, you know what? The size of these LEDs they're like nano micro. They're nothing these days. And a small little button cell right there Yeah, so you gotta have it. It's just like, and button cells, whether you use them or not, they last a long time. I think it's a very good little feature to have. So the LED would be a nice addition to this. And like I said in my updated in the editing description area of the last video, I added that a small spirit level added, maybe even longer or whatever, would be great, because that's also a great tinkering tool. And there's a little compartment there, which is going to look more like that, head on. There's the LED part. There's the spare needles, pencil, leads, and a spare needle pick. Went over all those points. Is there something here I missed? Yeah, right. And I added here just a brief little thing, like if you don't want to carry the bits with you, then this storage compartment can be used for something else. Like say you're going to, someone's farm or the woods, or you're just doing something entirely different where you're not going to need these bits in here. So you could put some like a little fire steel or some flints in there, or you could change up or change up your bit set, right? You could swap those, since they should be a standard size kind of bit. Well, then you could swap them out, put your Torx in there. If you're just going over to, I don't know, tinker around on somebody's laptop or something like that. Yeah, the LED, the tweezers, the bits, that stayed the same. Those stayed the same. I came up with a little kind of logo here, and yeah, I think I covered all the points here. And lastly here, so yeah, for the bigger size model would be the Geo Tinker Deluxe, where you could add, all the other tools that are usually found on some of the larger size multi tools. And I thought, like the last video I made, that should be actually catered more towards the Geo Tinker Micro. Yeah, so I'm going to change that, I think, the first one to the Micro, which was, I think I estimated it to about 3.5 inches. So that could either be reduced or kept the same. And this one, I increased it a bit. This is approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 approximately. So this was like, and it, for manufacturing purposes, it might even work out to be, 4.5 to 5. But hey, just for comparisons, there's a, more kind of like a standard size Victorinox. So that gives you an estimation of how long that is. So this is going to be slightly longer, I think. And all right, I knew I was forgetting the one detail which I thought of today. So if this were not to be kept hollow, like with all the pivoting that's going on here, obviously with these moving parts, and the other side where they have just the moving plates underneath, they're going to be on a separate little axis, but they will all be rotating on the same cylinder area. And I thought, well, maybe in the very middle, where that part always kind of stays with the bulk of the tool, why not throw a magnifying lens in there? That would be a great place for a magnifying lens, and it would be, since it would be, how do you call it, receded underneath this outer layer. This would be protruding, right? Just a little bit. So that would actually protect that lens from, rubbing up against stuff. So yeah, I thought that would be a cool idea. So the functions and the tool set have increased here, and I think this really maximizes the the working capacity of this multi-tool. Wow. Okay. Wow. So this video went rather long. Okay. So this is an update on the Geo Tinker multi-tool.